With sneakers releasing constantly, I'm talking about every day, every week, every weekend, every month, so many come at us, there's one thing that remains constant. People like a great story. They like to have this story that gives the shoe a little bit more substance. And I gotta tell you, these two brands coming together for the sneaker we're looking at today have done that. They've told a story that I honestly didn't know about until I heard about the shoe. So today, we're checking out the Hommewrk and Saucony Spot-Bilt Sonic Team Player Shoe. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's Mike from the Sneaker History Podcast, and we're back with another video. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate you guys. And yes, I'm gonna say it for the millionth and one time to exhaustion. I really do appreciate you guys, because there's a ton of channels out there you guys could be watching, stopping by, but you chose at this moment to look at my channel. So I really do appreciate you guys, because that helps the channel grow and just help us to keep moving in the right direction. So thank you. I'm not ever gonna stop saying thank you. So thank you for the 12th time already in this video. Now, you guys are aware that in this stint of time, I've been making my holiday sneaker guide for all those out there buying sneakers, maybe for themselves or for a fellow sneaker collector out there for Christmas, for the holidays. I wanna make sure that you guys can see all these different things, different brands, and really make sure your dollars are going to the places you want, because we know that gifts mean something, you know, for you to give to somebody. You wanna make a good impression, but also, hey, dollars don't come easy and don't come cheap, so we wanna make sure that you're spending your money in places that mean the most for you. Now, as I was making a video, I was actually making a video for another shoe that will be coming out later this week, but I had to stop because this sneaker stopped me in my tracks, because the look of the sneaker, the story behind the sneaker, everything about it was fantastic, and I didn't expect the sneaker to show up, so it really just maybe take a complete left turn. But the cool thing is, this sneaker is still available in some places, so we can fit it right into the holiday sneaker guide, especially if you have someone in your life who's a fan of basketball history, a fan of Saucony, a fan of the brand Hommewrk. This does all those things. So today, guys, we're looking at the Saucony Hommewrk Spot-Bilt Sonic. Now, Hommewrk's website called this the team player shoes, but I found out as I was doing research on this shoe, this sneaker actually honors one Miss Lusia Harris, who's dubbed the Godmother of Basketball. Now, before we get into her story, because it's a really cool story I had no idea about, but again, I love being able to learn something new. If you guys didn't know this, I don't know everything about sneakers, and anyone who tells you they do, they'll be lying. So it's really cool when something new comes about in a sense of a story that makes me dig deeper to learn something new, added to my repertoire of knowledge. So I think it's really cool. But first things first, I gotta thank Saucony and Hommewrk for sending this pair over. I didn't expect it. Showed up. Today is Monday as I'm recording. Yeah, just showed up at the door. Really do appreciate you guys for sending this over. Really cool Christmas present, if I want to say so myself. And if you guys didn't know who Hommewrk is or what Hommewrk is, it is a brand started by Trinidad James. Hey guys, you probably know him from, of course, his music career and from his stint at Complex on Full Size Run. So he's definitely big into sneakers, big into fashion. So really cool to see him come together with Saucony, one of my favorite brands, to create a awesome shoe, which he has 5 sneakers with them now. I think a couple of Jazz. He has a Spot-Bilt Sonic Low, and then this is his latest. And if I'm not mistaken, it released at Complex Con a couple weeks ago, but there are some sizes left on the Saucony website. There are some sizes left on his Hommewrk website, which I will link both at the bottom. And I want to say a couple boutiques have these as well, but I'll make sure I'll at least link those two so you guys can check them out, because I think this would be a pretty cool gift. Because again, it tells a story about basketball that I personally didn't know, and I'm not sure everyone knows out there. I'm sure there are people who do, but this is the story of Lusia Harris, who was really, they call her the Godmother of Basketball. So when she was at Delta State, she actually won 3 national championships with her college, went on, and she played in the Pan American Games, which is the international games. 1 gold there, so we're up to 4 awards now, right? She was on the first Olympics women's team in 1976. They won silver. We're up to at least 4 accolades at this point. She played for the Houston Angels, which you guys know I'm in Houston. So that was the first women's basketball team in Houston, the Houston Angels. And to top it all off, she was, well actually no, we're not gonna top it all off. There's 2 things, there's one other thing that's gonna top it off, but she was the first woman drafted to the NBA in 1977 by the then New Orleans Jazz, which I had no idea that ever happened. That is super cool. What an accomplishment. Now, I am gonna make the huge assumption I don't think she saw game time. I dug deep, didn't see any footage, didn't see any photos. I think they drafted her, but again, I don't think she saw any playing time. But she was the first black woman to be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So talk about a career, talk about a legacy you're leaving, and it's awesome that this story is being told on this shoot. Now, again, I hadn't heard this story before, and it was cool. Again, I learned something new, and it was told on something I love, sneakers. I love basketball as well. They put the two things together. It's amazing just the things you'll know, and I love that's one of those stories that I feel like is not told as often, but it's one that now sneaker lovers, or maybe even basketball lovers, or just, you know, maybe just Olympic lovers, whatever it may be, they're collegiate basketball lovers, whatever it may be, they have something to go ahead and reference that story to, and it's really cool. Now, Ms. Harris did pass away back in 2022 at the age of 66, so I don't know if she got to see these sneakers maybe in the early design phases before passing. I hope she did, because this is really cool for this shoe to, you know, honor her and her legacy. But if not, I am sure that looking down on us, and I'm sure her family really does appreciate the homage to her trailblazing as a basketball player. Now, as we get into the shoe, you already know, when we're talking about Saucony, we're talking about quality. So first thing we're going to look at is one of the few materials we're going to see here is going to be the mud guard, done up in this nice smooth leather. I mean, look at that. You guys know I got B-roll for you already, but look how soft this orange leather is. Now, from what I saw, on Hommewrk's website, they call it Oriole Orange. Now, this is where I need help. I am openly admitting I need help when I'm looking for information, but I'm trying to figure out why orange. Trinidad, if you're watching, I'm for sure going to tag you in this, because I would love some more information on it. But why orange? I was searching through like old pictures. A lot of them were black and white. I looked up Delta State, their colors when she was in college, and unless they changed, looks like they were kind of like a dark green and white. Of course, the USA basketball has always been red, white, and blue to my knowledge. That could be something different. The Houston Angels colors didn't seem to be orange and white. I couldn't quite find, again, pictures in great color, but I would love for someone to, if Trinidad team at Saucony, if you can tell me why orange, I would love to know that, because I just wonder why. Maybe it could have been her favorite color. Who knows? But this color they went with, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. I just want to make sure if there's a meaning behind the orange, I'd love to just be able to pass along to everyone watching. So thank you. Now, of course, that orange does stay the theme of the sneaker. So we go from the mudguard being orange and leather to a corduroy on top of the toe box, which is super plush. You're gonna see you have a lighter hue of orange here, lighter shade of orange. Man, I'm having trouble giving characteristic of colors for some reason. So lighter shade of orange, and it's a nice corduroy. Now, my only fear about that, I was talking to the buddy Hoss. If you hadn't listened to my first Kicks podcast, you need to go listen. But we're talking corduroy is definitely a big dirt attractor. So I'm definitely gonna wear these with a little bit of caution, because I know I've had corduroy shoes before and dirt just like a magnet, but not gonna stop me from wearing them, because this is a beautiful sneaker. Now, as we go up, first thing we have to point out is going to be the, I don't know what you call these things. Wow, I would say hair clip. There we go. My brain just shut off, and you know what? That's a shame. I literally have a wife and 3 little girls, and I could not think of the name of this. My brain wanted to go something more like something way too deep. It's just a hair clip, but it's a gold hair clip here. You're gonna see, which a woman used to tie her hair back to maybe go play basketball, do whatever, do something active, but it's something that I'm sure if you live in a household of women like I do, me and my son do, you're gonna see a couple of these floating around. And it's cool because it's used as a lace dubray. But what I like about it is that if you don't wanna have it on a shoe because maybe you're scared of losing or scared of breaking it, it's easy to pull off just like a hair clip, as opposed to having to unlace the shoe, relace it. Smart idea, I love it, and it adds a little extra touch. Now, as we go up to the eyelets, we're gonna get that smooth leather again. Now, we're gonna have a couple different types of eyelets here. You're gonna have just the hole punched at the very bottom eyelet. We're gonna have this plastic eyelet, this kind of a 2 eyelets that's gonna look like looks like it used to be a little sense of security. So you see how they have them together. Looks like it's gonna give you a little bit of lateral lockdown there, just to make sure your foot, if you're playing basketball, or if we're playing basketball, not going side to side. And you're gonna get some metal aglets up top. Now, I don't know if the metal aglets I should say on all GRs of the Spot-Bilt. I think it may just be a normal punch. But for these, you're gonna have this kind of bronzes looking metal aglet you're gonna get from the top of the ankle right there at the midfoot as well. Now, we got a few different lace options here. First we're gonna see is gonna be, my favorite is gonna be the cream flat lace, but you'll also have a nice bright orange lace. And there's one here I'm still trying to, again, if there's a reason behind it, I love to know because I want to make sure I give you guys all the information. But it's kind of this terry cloth blue lace that looks like Cookie Monster. Look at that. Really cool. I love the fuzzy laces, but for some reason, I want to keep this shoe really nice and just kind of streamlined. I think that the blue to me, I don't know. I might have to try it out, make a decision there, but I really like the way the cream sits on top of the tongue because the tongue's gonna be the same kind of cream color. Now, the tongue itself looks to be almost like a canvas, but a really soft canvas. Done up in, again, that same cream color. Gonna have that. You can see all the woven pattern in there. And on top, you're going to have your tongue tag that is gonna have the Hommewrk branding right up top. Done up in kind of this, like, I don't know, this kind of brownish orange, maybe burnt orange color you're gonna see there. Now, it's really cool if you flip the tongue around, you have the silhouette of looks like the women's Olympic basketball team at that time. Really cool. I like that. Again, those little touches help to keep the story going. Now, as we get down to the lateral and medial sides of the sneaker, first thing you're gonna see on the lateral side, Spot-Bilt done up right here in a tan cream color on top of more of that smooth leather. You flip it to the medial side, you're gonna get the rest of the name, Sonic, done up in that same color and that same smooth leather. Now we keep moving up towards the ankle, you're getting some more corduroy. Now something I noticed on the back portions of the corduroy is that it seems to be a little bit more rugged, if you guys can see the difference. See, this one's a little bit more tighter lines here. We're getting to the ankle collar, seems to be a little bit more rugged, a little bit almost kind of like unfinished, which again, I love this because you're getting all these different types of materials, all these finishes. It gives so much more depth to the sneaker, and I really, really do appreciate that. If you guys heard me in any video, I love that depth because it gives that sneaker so much character, and I really do like that. Now, the ankle collar, you're gonna have this cracked leather that is almost, I don't know if it's been like patterned, it almost reminds me like maybe like almost like a reptile, and that is going to be right here as well. Done up in that darker orange color. We saw the same color we're gonna get in that darker or that smooth leather. And on the back, we're gonna get the 1976, which, like I told you guys in the beginning, that is going to be the year of the first women's Olympic basketball tournament. Now, right inside, we talked about, of course, the back of the tongue, but we're gonna get into that sock liner. It's gonna be a orange mesh. There's gonna be all through there. And as we get inside, there's gonna be two different sock liners or insoles. We're gonna have Stay a Student, which that is Hommewrk's mantra. Stay a student, keep learning. I love that because this is a prime example. I didn't know this story, but I was able to learn more about the story because of this sneaker. So I love how this shoe used basically as a way, as a tool, as a vehicle for me to learn something new. And I don't know, that's really cool to me. And then I'll put the B-roll of the other insole there as well. It's gonna have more of that Hommewrk branding. And what's cool is that he uses all the different hairstyles for women. You see that on the insole, which you look at the B-roll, of course, but really cool. I think it's more like stemming from the women in his life and just bringing that same love to honor women everywhere. If I got that wrong, correct me, but that's what I've kind of understood from looking at some past information on the brand. So really cool there. Now, as we get down to the heel, we're gonna have this kind of like this linear design going right across in a cream color as well on the Spot-Bilt. Doesn't do anything, just a design, and some more of that corduroy popping up for us here. Now, as we get down to the midsole, it's gonna be an all cream midsole. We're gonna have the contact cushion. That's the cushioning system they use in here. Honestly, Again, I know people like to play ball and retros sometimes just for the fashion things. I don't know how it's going to perform because I haven't played ball, I haven't gone on the court. I put these on and walked around my house for a bit because they just got here and I had to put them on. But they were comfortable. I'll tell you that. This setup is comfortable. It is a rubber cup sole that we saw all these sneakers. If I'm not mistaken, these released back in 1987. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But 1987 was the year of the Spot-Bilt Sonic. And again, it follows all those 80s basketball shoes with rubber cup soles that we're gonna get here. And it looks like when you get to the midsole, the cup opens up a bit and a little bit of exposed foam there, which I'm guessing is that contact cushion, if I'm not mistaken. But again, it's gonna be in that cream color as well. And your outsole is gonna be the traditional Spot-Bilt outsole with one difference. Instead of Saucony branding, you're gonna have the Hommewrk branding right here done up in that same tan color or cream color. Now, this sneaker does fit true to size. Again, I put it on, no discomfort. I will tell you, just like any retro sneaker, they do seem to have a bit of a slim toe box. So if you're a wider foot, definitely, I would say if you can't try them on, go up a half size. If you can try them on first. These are available for 160 bucks, and I really like them, guys. I really do. This was not one on my radar. I saw clips of it, like through Complex Con, but I did not know much about it. But when it showed up, I definitely dove into the research and love everything about the way the shoe looks, but the story is awesome as well. So you gotta check these out. I think this is definitely one that's added to the holiday guide, like I mentioned, especially for a retro basketball fan out there. Give them something a little different, because I guarantee this one doesn't pop up on a radar as much, but it should, because it's a great looking shoe, great story, and one, again, I appreciate the team at Saucony for sending it on over. So let me know, what do you guys think about the Hommewrk and Saucony Spot-Bilt Sonic? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you have this pair already? Let me know down below. And until next time, see ya.